So we are going into game 2 of Destiny versus Slush. If you are a Zerg player, this is what you want to see. The map will be MLG Shakura's Plateau. This means that they can only spawn in cross positions, meaning that this is like a 2-player map. They immediately know where their opponent is. Destiny is still opting to send that Overlord on this close air spawn just by habit, I guess, or maybe MLG changed their map. Rip yourself on Justin TV list. Okay, as long as you're still here, I am very happy. I will actually try to announce my stream again on his chat. Maybe someone will rage again, but too bad for them. While this game is getting started, nothing really happens during this part. Hopefully we'll get maybe one more viewer. I don't think that Destiny will mind. I do try to ask the people that I am casting if they will let me cast, but sometimes they don't always look at their chat. So Destiny just recently got into Grandmaster, and I believe Slush is around 109th last time I checked. I actually streamed him about an hour ago. So he was 109th, down from 126th this morning. So these two players, both in Grandmaster, both part of the Root team.
I mean, this is something I wouldn't consider until you're like super high level. Like if you're in like below Masters League, even mid Masters, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you can get to high Masters League and you have enough APM to offload, and you think you can stay safe at the same time, those infestor drops are insane. I don't know if you saw them last game. Like I was able to use them to sniper Greater Fire and a hide. Super pain in the ass to do.
So Destiny giving some words of wisdom, saying that infestor drops.
The reason why I say I wouldn't try it unless it's really good or you really feel comfortable is because any infestor drops like that are definitely going to encourage an all-in from your opponent. Like you do a lot of damage and you have to be ready to survive, and you're going to be behind an army because you've invested like 600 gas and infestors that aren't at your base, and 300 and drop tech that isn't going towards your army either. So you have to be ready for a counterattack.
So apparently my message got deleted. Here in the game, we see that Destiny is talking about his infestor drop, that he was aware that his army count was way behind.
Find yourself losing to counterattacks every time.
And that you really have to get your APM going if you want to go for those infestor drops.
It's just part of the build I'm doing. I'm trying to make a build work that doesn't involve lings early on, because any build that involves lings early on will invariably turn to ling if the opponent opens lings. And I hate that style of play. So
I actually love this kind of play by Destiny. I guess that Spinecrawler is to prevent any ling pressure.
Deflect that. I also don't want to have to deal with that Roach Ling all-in. By doing the Roach Ling all-in, it seems to be the best way to deal with it. So this early defense is fine, and then continually producing Roaches off of the one gas I've got seems to be enough to keep me safe from any kind of all-in.
Okay, so Destiny actually explaining his build here, that Spinecrawler is by default going down just to prevent any ling aggression and ling baneling play. He does not like his own ling play because he feels they always go into ling baneling early game. So he is trying to come up with a build that will completely negate the necessity of a lot of early game lings by going into early roaches, and I kind of like that because I am not a fan of baneling micro. They can be so hard and demand so much APM. That infestor drop thing, he was saying that you need a lot of APM because your opponent will counterattack with a way bigger army because of all that investment you've spent on infestor drops. So he does not suggest it unless you are high masters. Now in this game we actually see both of these players going for an early expansion straight after their spawning pool. Destiny actually got his gas earlier than Slush, so no seedling aggression coming from Slush. We are pretty sure of it now that Destiny has enough roaches. We are even we know he's going to be safe against any banelings or speedlings. He will be moving out here because he saw that 2 spine crawlers were going up for Slush on top of his ramp. And, well, right now, 1 Overlord going to die from Destiny. He sent it in hoping to scout what kind of tech that Slush was going to go into.
He doesn't have link speed yet, wow.
He does not have link speed yet, as Destiny mentioned. So Slush will most likely go into pure Roach, eventually transitioning into Infestors, maybe Hydras. With a lot of upgrades, you mean if you skip that link speed, you can actually get those upgrades +1 a lot faster. Instead of link speed, which is 100 and 100, you just get +1 on your Roach attack, which is 100 and 100. Small sacrifice. You can't put on any early pressure, but you do get that upgrade advantage. Although we didn't see we did not see an Evo chamber from Slush. Maybe we just did not scout it. Both these builds very similar now, except that Slush has a bit more, 1 more spine crawler on top of his rad. And we know that Slush actually loves to spread that creep very early on. So he most likely has an extra queen or already dropped the creep tumor. Hopefully we will get a shot at Slush's base soon enough. Destiny already going into Infestor play on 4 gas. You see that gas is quite high compared to those minerals. That is so he can drop a couple of the Infestors as soon as that Pathogen Clan upgrade finishes. See Slush also going for 4 gases. So this will be quite a similar build for these 2 players actually. We'll most likely see both of them going for a lot of Roaches and Infestors. Players have tend to stop building Hydras in the army just because they melt to fungal growth so fast and they're quite slow off creep, so you can't really position them well enough to do any kind of damage. Although their DPS is insane, they have one of the highest DPS in the game. They are still not worth the investment, plus you need that range upgrade for them to be any kind of effective. Now, this game, very passive right now. We will see a huge macro game from both these players. I expect both of these guys will go for a 3rd soon enough. As soon as he spends that gas on Infestors, that money will start piling up, and he will go for an expansion when he will be able to. For now, just getting he is getting denied his larva by that contaminate skill by the Overseers. A lot of Zergs like to do that, especially when you're about to push. That prevents your opponent from actually reinforcing. There goes the expansion. Slush didn't go for his 3rd yet. That Overseer is still looking around the base. See Destiny pooping creep with his Overlords just to get those creep tumors down in front of his base and linking the 2 bases together. That 3rd base got denied by a single Ling on hold position. He will send probably 1 Roach or a Ling to try and kill it so he can expand. Quite annoying by Slush to deny that from Destiny, but he does get it, and eventually he still has his 3rd base before Slush, which is kind of a huge deal, this being a huge macro game. Destiny now repositioning his spine crawlers and gonna move his army down there with 1 spore crawler just to detect any kind of burrowed infestor play before they go up in his ramp. This game very passive right now. We see a few speedlings coming from Slush. Most likely gonna try and harass that 3rd, but he will get completely denied because Destiny did see it, and he will run into a wall of spine crawlers, roaches, and everything else that is there. Destiny pushing a big growl. I don't know what that was about. A lot of speed overlords coming to the main base. I expect there's a drop coming, 5 of them. There will be a drop most likely. We will see what kind of damage he can do. Destiny saw it early, so he does pull out his entire army. A lot of fungal growth saved up on those infestors. 1 does die, but he does get his fungal growth down, and no damage at all being done by Slush, although he does counterattack to the 3rd base, and he will most likely pick it off. No, he will try and pick off some drones instead. which is just as good. Denying those drones from mining and picking one off will deny mining from that base as long as it's picking off the base.